from around the country. And this month, we're going to change our focus just a little and look at some specific segments of some websites and compare how different dealers from around the country are doing things. Based upon your input, this month's segment, we are going to look at the new vehicle section from several different websites and compare the key elements of the websites. The first element we're going to look at is how is the vehicle selection presented to the consumer. Second, is the inventory, that is their current inventory on the lot, available online? Number three, does the site offer pricing information? And lastly, is it easy for the consumer to contact the dealer and get a quote? The first dealership that we're going to look at today is Fordland in Colorado. When you go to the site, you notice that if you click on New Vehicles, it's going to pull up a page, and the types of vehicles are broken out very neatly, and it's very easy to navigate the site. On this site, you do see they have the vehicle inventory listed, and let's click on that for a second and take a look. What you see here is a large listing of all of their inventory. And it's basically my opinion that this is not updated on a daily basis because of the format that it is. One of the things you notice is there's no pictures, which makes it hard, but it's also kind of hard to navigate. The one nice thing we did notice on this site is it's very easy to get a quote. You can simply click on Price Quote, and it pulls up a page. But on this page, we see that, they ask for a little bit too much information. Let's take a look at ABC Nissan in Arizona. With ABC Nissan in Arizona, you notice that the vehicles are displayed very nicely. It's easy for the consumer to see what vehicles are available. They have the Maxima, the Altima, the Pathfinder. It's a very clean site, very easy to navigate. Let's close that down. Okay. The one thing you notice as we go into and select a particular model, let's take a look at the Maxima. We click on Maxima. And as the screen comes up, you're going to see there's a picture of the car, but there is a lot of copy. One of the things we've recommended and things that we like to see is that the bullet points. Consumers on the internet don't like to read a lot. They like to see bullet points, power steering, power brakes, and all the features listed out very simply. This has all that information, but the consumer has got to read that information. The other thing you see is it does have the purchase request button. Then click on that very nicely. It pulls up a request. I do like this purchase request. It's very simple. They just ask for a few little things. It's very easy to communicate back and forth. There is a nice open section. If the consumer wants to send you some specific information, dear Mr. Dealer, I'm looking for a red Maxima. Do you have any in stock? Gives them an opportunity to communicate. Where some web pages, when you pull up the contact page, it's all form generated where there's drop-down menus and there's really no area for them to communicate with you with direct quotes and information. The one thing that is a negative about this is there is no actual inventory listed on the site. They are basically just giving you the basic information, so you really have no way to find out what this dealer has in stock, and there's no pricing feature, so you're not able to get any information. Well, now let's travel across the country to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and visit the dealership of Brookfield Acura. Well, first of all, you see with Brookfield Acura, it's a very nice laid out page, and when we click on the new inventory, it pulls up a section that is nice and easy to use. It gives you all of the information. The vehicles are laid out very nice and cleanly, and it's an easy site to navigate from this point on. One of the nice things about the inventory section is you can search the site for new and used vehicles. And you can go in there and you can get a listing of all of their vehicles, and when you click on that button, it's going to pull up a listing of all of the vehicles they have available, and you can kind of scroll through and take a look. Like we said earlier, being able to give the consumers as much information online is really powerful. And as you look here, you can go down and you can take a look at the various vehicles they have, the Acura 3.2 TL. And what I liked about this site is you can actually click on that, and that's one of the things that makes it very nice. They show that it is a hot link, and click on that, and it's going to pull up some more specific information about that vehicle. The one thing I would recommend on this site is that they give a little bit more information on how to use it. They've got some very good features here, but for someone new to the internet and new to navigating a site, they're really not going to understand what that blue copy with the underline is. Now, as you go through and you take a look at all the information there on this Acura 3.2 TL, it shows all the features, it walks you through the specific information. And what's nice is this is linked to their current inventory. So it's going to tell you the stock number and the VIN number. That makes it very nice for your web manager, the internet manager, because when the consumer is communicating, he can say, I'm interested in stock number 2301, and it makes it very easy for him to communicate back and forth, pull up the correct pricing information. Remember, when you're dealing with an internet consumer, they want to be able to talk and communicate very quickly. Time is of the essence. And what I liked about this site as well is the form is very simple. They're not asking for a lot of information. Remember, the less you ask, the more you're going to receive. Consumers are more likely to give you information and communicate with you faster if they feel it's done on their terms. They're dealing with you on the internet because they're afraid to come into the dealership. So the easier you can make this initial contact and the more comfortable it is for them, the more likely you are to get them into your dealership. Now let's just take a step back, and we're going to take one more look here at the new inventory. As you can see, they have all of the inventory listed down, and you can actually go through and see all of their inventory by simply clicking on the button, Show the 10 More. They set this up a lot like a search engine would be, whereas it's going to give you a certain number of results, and then you can click to see more. I like this because as opposed to the site we looked at earlier, where it just had one big long page of all the vehicle information, and it became very cumbersome and confusing, this keeps it very neat and clean and very easy for the consumer to navigate. Well, now let's go all the way across the country to the East Coast and see how they do it over there. We will be visiting Toyota of Keene in New Hampshire. The vehicle information you're going to notice on this page is very hard to find. There's no specific button for new vehicle inventory. And in turn, they don't have any of their new vehicle inventory listed online. They do have the vehicles, the various Toyota models, available on the site, so you could click on the Sienna, and that's a type of vehicle they have. And you can see when you look at the site, there's a lot of standard copy talking about it, so some pretty pictures. The standard features are listed. But one of the things that's missing on this is the pricing. There's no pricing available on this site, so consumers have no way of getting any specific pricing information, and there's no optional features available either. The one thing I did notice about this site, which I thought was very nice, is the contact page. Now this button is a little bit hard to find. It's at the very bottom of the page. You got to scroll down. My recommendation would be to put that up a little bit higher. But as you can see, kind of a cute caricature of the Internet Manager comes up. Would you like some more information? Contact me. It's a real nice way to make it friendly. You know, it's just kind of a nice little touch there. I thought it was very cute. And as you scroll down a little bit further, remember what I said earlier. He's just asking for a few little things, basic information, name, phone number, email address. Those are critical. And then little buttons here. I'm interested in buying a new Toyota. Please send me some literature. It's very easy for the consumer to communicate with you. So this is a very nicely laid out contact page. Wasn't too happy with the beginning pages because it's a little bit hard to get that information. But as far as a contact page, I think this is one of the nicer ones we've seen today. Well, the last site we're going to look at is Friendly Chevrolet in Dallas, Texas. One of the things you notice about the Friendly site is a very bright and colorful site. And when you click on the new vehicles, it takes you to a section where they've actually divided the Chevrolet cars and the Chevrolet trucks. That's because Chevrolet has a lot of different vehicles and they wanted to kind of keep things limited in size. So let's go ahead and let's click on Chevrolet cars and take a look. As you can see by the page, it's a very clean page. It's laid out very nicely. The thing that I like about the site is it has the actual pictures of the cars. You can scroll down and see the various pictures. And underneath there's Build a Deal. Now what's interesting about Build a Deal on the Chevy site here is that that actually links into Chrome Data. Chrome Data are the people that supply all of the pricing services with their inventory information. So that's very nice because the consumer can actually price out the car, find out the MSRP and the invoice, break it down by option, see all the standard features, the optional features, take a lot of information and get a lot of information right there on the site. Friendly decided, hey, the consumers are going to go out there and find the information anyway. Why not provide it and give it to them online? The other nice thing is throughout the site here, every page you go to has Build a Deal. I like that because no matter where you are in this site, you can click on one button and it's going to take you to a screen that looks like this, and it's very simple. It gives you a little explanation of how to use their service, the information that they're asking for so they can communicate with you, and you simply hit Submit a Request, and boom, you're communicating with someone from the dealership. The one thing that's missing on this site is they do not currently have their inventory available online. Like we said, that was very nice on some of the other sites, but the thing in retrospect is they do provide extended pricing information. So a little give and take there. The quick quote button is very well displayed and laid out, very easy to use. Well, that's all the time we have for this month. Join me next month as we travel across the country reviewing the used vehicle sections of dealer websites. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thank you, Peter. And I'll just bet you, the one site you're going to remember